the reason I'm sitting the way I'm sitting and actually doing this sitting down is because I want to kind of give you guys insight as to how I actually practice. And this is what I would do. I have a little footrest, and I put my guitar on the left leg, and I have the guitar kind of high, so when I sit up, it's actually staying in place. So if I stand up, it'll be in the same position. One of the things that guitar players ask me a lot is about sort of understanding the guitar neck and the guitar as like an improvisational instrument. The big sort of theme or the big picture of the way that I think, I like to sort of use the analogy of a map. All right, if you go on Google Maps and you put in New York, you know, you see this massive geographical area, and you see all these roads and cities and things, and it just looks like, you know, so much information. But if you were to type in directions from your house to Sam Ash, you know, you'd see a very specific line, right? It just becomes really clear. And that's the way that I look at guitar playing. So one of the first things that I like to do when I pick up the guitar is, I guess a good word for it is like acclimation. I like to pick up the guitar and get reacquainted with it and acclimated as to how it feels as far as like the shape of the neck, the distance between the strings. I mean, this should just be something that comes naturally to you, but I always feel like it grounds me. So one of the really easiest things you can do is I'll play like just one note on a string and use this kind of chromatic shape. So it's just going to be like this. Right? And I'm picking down, up, down, up. So you take that, and then you move to the next set of strings. So there's going to be like 4 groupings of them because there's 6 strings, and we're dividing it by 4 fingers. So it's like this. And then what I do is I take that shape and reverse it. So it goes. Right? So that's the first part. So. All right, and then, so since I ended on my pinky, what I'll do is I'll move up a half step and then do this whole thing in reverse. So then it goes 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's like this. And then reverse that, so the pinky leads on the high string. So. And those are the 2 parts, all right? So I'll play them again, just slow together. And they're just going to keep moving up the neck, all right? Very basic. Remember, down, up, down, up, down, up the whole time. So it'll be like this. That's the exercise. So that's like the first thing I would do. The next thing I would do is basically warm up. So the idea behind warming up for me is it's literally just to kind of get the blood flowing in your hands. It's not to do anything strenuous. You know, you shouldn't feel like tension or anything like that when you're warming up. In fact, you should probably maybe even focus on relaxing. That's another thing. Players like Yngwie and lots of guys who have mastered the guitar, they have a very relaxed, you know, approach. So there's not tension in your hands. Okay? So I'm going to show you 2 things that I do for warming up that are, again, very simple but effective. Okay? So basically we want to warm up the left hand and the right hand. Eventually we'll put them together. So for left hand, a lot of guys do, like trills are always good. You know, a lot of guys will kind of warm up with this sort of thing. What I prefer, or what I find gives a little bit more independence, is when I do a trill that's between a fretted note and an open string. And if you use the 4 different fingers, you might have something that's like. So it's just the pinky. Right, so those are the just fretted note with the pinky, and then you pull off, and it kind of helps you get this independence, and helps with getting the hammer on and pull off feel. And then if you want to make it more of something that can move a little bit, then I would do something where maybe you make a pattern like and you could do that like if you wanted to kind of gauge a warm-up session for your left hand, you can just start on the first fret of the low E and go all the way up, and then go all the way back down. When you go back down, maybe just for fun, reverse it. So you're going. And then also what I'm doing is I'm muting the other strings too, so there's no noise. So if let's say you're doing this on the G string, I'll take my 2 fingers and hold the D string and the B string, so you don't hear it. Otherwise, it's going to be like you're going to hear that ringing, especially with distortion. So I would hold like. All right, remember, you don't want to get tension. Try to have the notes be clear, but not really, make your hand tense. And if you want to make it even more melodic, I mean, that's a chromatic example, you can pick a scale or a key. So let's say I just wanted to do this in the key of C, for lack of a better key. You can do, sounds more like A minor because I had the A going. But, it's the same technique, but you're just not doing the chromatic thing. And then it's more of like a fun melodic exercise. Anyway, that's the left hand warm-up part, really basic.